Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about how you can leverage requirements and test management workflows with the power of Squash and GitLab integration. First, let's jump into introductions. I'm Amanda Rueda, and I am the Senior Product Manager with GitLab.
And I'm Marion Delobo, and I'm Squash Product Owner from NX.
Today, we're going to talk about common challenges in your SDLC workflows. We're going to look at requirements and test management in Squash. We're going to see executions management and reporting in Squash as well. And we're going to see the highlights of Squash and GitLab integration. Finally, we're going to finish with a powerful demo to show you just the value of Squash and GitLab working together. Let's dive into challenges. Development teams of all sizes face common challenges in the software development lifecycle, particularly around managing requirements and test cases. First, we know that traceability and visibility are crucial, yet challenging to maintain a clear line of sight throughout the project. When traceability falters, it can lead to untested requirements, missed defects, and significantly impacting project outcomes. Secondly, we know you face collaboration and communication gaps. As projects scale, keeping every team member from developers to product owners informed and aligned becomes increasingly difficult. Misalignments here can lead to inefficiencies, unnecessary rework, and ultimately products that don't meet user expectations. Finally, managing changes. Projects are living entities with requirements that evolve due to new customer insights, trends, and technical constraints. Agile adoption to these changes without losing sight of the project scope and deadlines is a persistent hurdle. The Squash and GitLab integration offers a solution to these challenges. It creates a seamless workflow that empowers teams with real-time insights and unified project oversight, fostering a dynamic environment where updates are synchronized across platforms. Now let's dive into the power of Squash. Marion, would you like to take over?
Sure, thank you. Before talking about the GitLab and Squash integration, let's have a quick overview of Squash and its main features. So Squash is designed to streamline the entire test management process, from writing test requirements to tracking test results. It manages both manual and automated tests and can fit any type of project and functional test, from acceptance testing to regression testing to end-to-end testing. Squash objects are organized in workspaces with a multi-project library. So you will see later how it goes. So first, the requirement workspace. It allows to break down complex SUT specification into test requirements and organize them in multi-level hierarchies. These requirements can be qualified and detailed according to each organization needs, with features like custom fields that we can find on each Squash object. Most importantly, in this workspace, the ability to link requirement to test cases help teams making sure that all features are covered and tested. In Squash, manual and automated tests are managed together in the same repository, allowing to have knowledge about the full test coverage in one single space. Depending on the test type or project needs, test case can be designed in a traditional action results way or using Gherkin syntax that is more ideal to anticipate the automation process later. Features in this workspace like datasets or test calls or reuse of Gherkin steps help building a consistent test assets and simplify its maintenance and automation. In the execution workspace, Squash helps planning and prioritize tests in order to validate the relevant features. The full history of manual and automated tests results is recorded to ensure traceability and simplify analysis of trends over time, especially for automated tests. Squash also features exploratory testing. That is a nice way to complement scripted testing methods to evaluate user experience or uncover anomalies that might have gone unnoticed otherwise with more traditional ways of testing. When it comes to anomalies, they are reported from Squash to a third-party tool like GitLab, and they are pre-filled with test data to save time and facilitate the communication with the development team. Squash also provides some reporting features to monitor every critical phase of testing projects, from writing requirement to executing tests. And these reporting features consist on built-in dashboards and reports, but team can also customize them to meet the specific need and ensure that stakeholders receive the most relevant information. So that's about it for Squash main features. Now maybe let's talk about the integration with GitLab. The goal really here is to enhance GitLab workflow with functional testing and basically unify testing with the rest of the software production and bring together all team members in the single fluid workflow. It ensures that there is no loss of information between tools. Teams are provided with full traceability and relevant data feedback in real time in both tools. And so all of this is to make sure that everyone is aligned and informed. Finally, this integration also allows for functional tests to be executed as part of the CI/CD pipelines, so that they are an integral part of the software development lifecycle. And this way, teams can detect and resolve issues earlier, reducing the risk of them making it to production. So
I
now
love,
maybe, yeah.
yeah, no, I was just going to say, I love the comprehensiveness of the Squash platform. Thank you so much for showing us that. What do you think? Shall we dive into a demo of how the integration works between
Yes,
Squash and GitLab Live?
absolutely.
Awesome.
So we'll start this demo in GitLab. So I have a project here with some issues. Some of them are linked to Milestone. I'm using Milestone to manage my sprints, but I could also use iterations. I have also some labels, and so some of these issues are labeled as user stories, and some of them are labeled as bugs. So the first thing you need to know with this Squash GitLab integration is that the issues will keep on being managed and created and planned in GitLab. Nothing changes on this part. The first part of this integration is to actually synchronize these issues in Squash as Squash requirement. So the QA is able to have all the information needed to start writing tests and link them to the issues synchronized. So here I am in Squash in the requirement workspace. And so I've set up a synchronization before for this demo. And in this configuration, in this synchronization, I'm able to define which issues I want to synchronize in Squash and how I want to organize them. So I've decided to synchronize only issues labeled as user stories and to organize them as milestone. And so as you can see in Squash, I have all my issues synchronized in my requirement library in my project that you can see in blue. And they are organized in milestones. So I have a specific folder that has been created and synchronized for each milestone, and it contains the issues linked to the milestone. I can just configure as I want my synchronization. In the next development integration, we would also like to synchronize GitLab epics in Squash to have kind of the full picture of the software requirements, and also to be able to create test case from the epics. And so back to the user story here. So I have my user story synchronized here, and if I go on the left, on the right side, I can see that I have also some information of my issues that have been synchronized: the name, the description, also the labels, and any other information that would be relevant for me as a QA to start writing test case. Once again, everything can be configured. So now maybe let's go to the test case workspace. So I won't show you the whole process of creating test case, just to show you, well, they're also organized in a library, and there can be two types of test cases. The traditional action result test case with different steps, prerequisites. We can also add some data sets. And if we want to maybe write more acceptance testing, or maybe automate the test later, we can use what we call a BDD format for test, which is based on the Gherkin syntax. And so it's really another way to write test. And this format helps to, from this format, we can generate Cucumber or Robo Framework scripts and send them directly to a GitLab repository. So it's really up to you to find what works for you, for your project, for your type of test, which kind to use. Once you have created your test case, you can link them to the requirements in this workspace, and the test case are displayed here, the link test case. And if we go to the issues on GitLab, so as a person using GitLab, as a developer, product owner, we have here some information regarding the test coverage that have been synchronized. And so we know that this issue is linked to a test case that have not been executed yet, so not validated or anything, but we know that it's in the process. Now let's go back to Squash. So let's say the QA keeps on creating tests and link them to the user story. At one point, we are going to want to plan them and execute them. So in the campaign or execution workspace, we are able to define execution plans with the test to be run. There are several ways to define an execution plan. We can just add test cases to it directly. But with GitLab, we have kind of an execution plan designer that will that is kind of a smart assistant that will find test cases linked to a specific set of GitLab issues, or to a milestone, or to a GitLab iteration. So it's really easy to design execution plan with specific test cases linked to some issues that we absolutely want to validate. So it makes it easier for planning and prioritizing tests. So once the execution plan is designed, we can start running test case. And so the idea is so I'm showing you how we manually run test case. So the idea is to apply a specific status for each steps. And if we, for example, find out that there is an anomaly with a test, we are able, from Squash, to directly report an issue in GitLab. So this window here shows up all the GitLab fields that we can fill in to report an issue. So I'm just going to add a title. We can see that the description here is pre-filled with some information about the test. So it makes it easier for the QA to fill in the description. The steps to reproduce are already filled in. We can add also some labels, just add the type 1. And then we can add also some attachments, and then we add the issue, the anomaly, it's linked to the Squash execution. And if we go in GitLab, we have a new issue that have been added with the label I had selected, with all the information needed to reproduce the test. And so the developer can start working on correcting it with the information needed. Now, if we go back to still in GitLab to the original user story, we can see that here the note has been updated with the information regarding the execution status. So I can see that it has failed. And so what we would like to do in further development would be to add maybe a specific label regarding the testing status, and also send more information regarding the test details and execution details. So that's we'll be working on in the next weeks and months. Now, if we talk about automated tests, so I'm going back in Squash. Well, we can also define a test plan with automated tests in Squash, and these test plans can be integrated to a CI/CD pipeline in GitLab. And so they can be run according to the team process, for example, every night or at each merge request. It really depends, and the results are sent back in Squash. For this test plan integrated in a pipeline, it is possible to define a quality gate that basically you need to specify minimum success rates for some type of test, for example, API vs UI test, depending on the test technology, depending on the test importance. And the pipeline will fail if these success rates are not reached. And so if we go to a merge request, these results of the quality gate are displayed as a note in GitLab merge request. And so, for example, in my I have run 5 tests in my pipeline, 5 robot framework test. I had defined a threshold of 75%. Only 3 of them have been success. Therefore, I have not reached the threshold, and my quality gate have failed. And so this is critical for teams, because this results will stop the pipeline, so will prevent possibly merging code increments that would break the app, and it will also inform the developer about what went wrong. So that's about it for now for the integration for the demo.
That's wonderful. This was so powerful to see how we can configure the tests and the requirements, library and execution all in Squash, but see the results real time in GitLab. This is really huge for both collaboration and visibility of teams. Thank you so much for demoing this. And thank you for joining us and learning about the power of Squash and GitLab integration. In the description of this video, we've provided links with how you can learn more. If you want to dive in to see these steps more in depth, we've linked to our documents page, as well as how you can get in touch with us. So do reach out if you have any questions. And thank you so much for your time today.